With making firewood is trying to make things like this into straight one-size pieces. So that's always nifty. Obviously, when you get into the bigger, trunkier type things, it becomes easier. You know, you would just cut this down the center and then use that as one piece. And then this as another piece, and then this as another piece. But when you get into these little guys, that's not too bad of a belly. That's not too bad of a belly. But then what do you do with that? How does it stack in the firewood stack, etc.? So as you progressively get smaller, you end up with a lot of things like this. So what I'm doing as I do this is classifying as I go between sizes, and then stack them up here, and then reclassify when I get down to my place, and I'll show you that on the other side. It's going well so far, but it's not the fastest process. Alright, so I'm going to set up the tripod 3 different times to show you how I walk through the process. This is a somewhat larger one, so this would be better to show you all 3 stages. So I walked it over and threw it down here, whereas this is the place that I do the majority of my processing. Hopefully this will keep me in frame. So now I have this and a whole bunch of smaller. And let me see if I can move this whole thing, because it's going to be difficult otherwise. But then you'll be able to see, hopefully, you'll be able to see what it is that I do to try to make everything work here. I use this as my measure. I need about a ½ inch longer. And this is one of these curly pieces that I can try to make straight pieces out of. And I start from the big side. That way the lumber, or excuse me, the firewood can be as large as it can be with what it has to offer. And if there's any scrap at the end that's too short to be useful, it'll be like the skinny, stupid tiny scraps that can end up over here because it's only like a 1/2 inch long or 1 inch too long. And the little 1/2 inches do matter because they won't fit in the fireplace otherwise. And yeah, it looks like you can, here you go, I'm gonna take it back off now. So that's the process that I go through to do that. Now, how to work these is really pretty much the same thing, except maybe I can get away without using the saw. So, let's see if I can squeeze this back in enough. Alright. I made this tripod from scratch using leftover building materials, so it might not be perfect. Alright, so see if you can see this, but so now I need to classify these. So essentially I break off all the ones that are too small to care about, at least thus far, because I'm still caring about them. They're just in a stack here that might be burned later. And then I end up with very small that goes to way small. And then I just see where they are. So this will be the fire starter. So about the halfway point. This second one here will be like a log that goes above the fire starter layer. They'll burn without split. This is the last one. This is like a big log that'll burn after enough of these get started. And anything bigger than this, like the ones on there, need to be split with an axe at least one time. So hopefully you caught all that. Alright, so here's all the wood that I've brought back so far that's been classified. These are all the pieces that need to be split at least once. These are all the big logs, that can go in and smolder and just maintain heat and burn away after the heat has started. So these will be the longevity. These will be the longevity plus easy to start. These here are the stage 2 fire starter. These are the stage 1 fire starter. So this is the burns very hot and fast, easy to start. Takes more heat that they'll get from this, harder to start, but then once they get going will be enough heat to start this and the splits. So those are the 4 classifiers. Because I have a really tiny stove. It's 16 inches deep by 10 by 8. Tomorrow is going to be the sawzall day, because tomorrow I have to go through all the big stuff, and my circular saw isn't going to make that. The sawzall is going to be working